Welcome to the Teapot Reads. My name is Sam. I'm the Teapot. This is the manga I am currently reading, and I am so happy to see you today. Hello and welcome to my current manga collection. This collection is not huge. It is not nearly as impressive as some people's out there, but I'm still really proud of it. I still really love it, and I feel like within the next year or so, this collection will probably balloon out quite a bit because even though I have been reading and enjoying manga for a bit now, the bug has bitten me and I have to fight the urge to buy manga every time I'm at work. I did a manga collection video about this time last year. I think it was about this time. I'll link it above and below. The collection is definitely bigger. It's not double the size, I don't think. Maybe it is. I didn't actually rewatch that one to see how big it was because I didn't want to face the music if it did double in size. But the collection is definitely bigger, and there are quite a few new series on this pile because I don't keep my manga on a shelf. I just don't have the space right now. Someday I would love to be able to display it, but I keep it in a pile next to my shelves. They fit pretty perfectly. It's actually almost ridiculous how well they fit. You can kind of see it here. I keep it organized by series, and I have the front stack and the back stack. The back stack tends to have some of my more favorite series as well as completed series. I try to keep the stacks just about even because then it prevents either from toppling over. I don't know a huge ton about manga, so I don't even know how I would describe precisely what I like in manga. Hopefully you'll get a sense for it when I show you the series that I do collect. I like fantasy, I like slice of life. If it's a combo of both, that's cute. So, you know. Anyway, I don't want to dither. I want to just get into it. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to get into it. So first, I have one volume of Seaside Stranger. This is by Ki Kana. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is really cute. I read this one. I didn't love it, and I think the reason I didn't love it was kind of twofold. One, the age gap, and two, the translation just wasn't great. There were pieces that I felt were missing, and I had a really hard time judging how much time was passing. I did love the aesthetic of this, though. It is so cute and so charming. This is a MLM romance between Mio and Shun, and it's really about them not really coming to terms with each other, but kind of coming to terms with themselves and with the idea of this relationship and with some of their past, because they both have kind of troubled past, and it's set on this really, really aesthetically charming island. The art is probably the best part of this. I feel like this won't spoil anything. These kind of couple pages for the art. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to continue with this series because I had some major problems with it. It's not top of my priority list, but I'm not writing it off. Also, this is explicit, so if you're not into that, don't pick this one up. A recent read for me was Bungo Stray Dogs. This is volume 1. This is written by Kafka Asagiri. The art is by Sango Harukawa. This is a fantasy. I was thinking I would like this a lot more than I did because I've had this on my radar for a long time. I actually started reading manga back when I was in late high school, early college, and then I stopped just because I couldn't keep up with most reading in general at that time, and then manga, there weren't that many series that interested me. But this was one that I had on my radar at that point, I believe. And it's still fairly popular, so I was kind of expecting to like it a lot more. All of the characters in this series have literary themed powers, which is actually really cute. And if you didn't know, I'm doing Japanese literature reading vlogs and a Japanese literature reading challenge. You can definitely check that out. I'll have the playlist maybe tagged above, definitely tagged below. So I actually did get quite a few of these references that had I not been doing that, I probably wouldn't have gotten. I didn't love it. I wasn't super connected with our protagonist, whose name is Atsushi Nakajima. Not a good sign if you can't remember your protagonist's name. I didn't love it. The powers are all interesting and they're cute how they reference things, but I wasn't like, oh, that's clever. The only moment I was like, that's clever was the the Naomi joke they made. But outside of that, I was like, the other thing, they're like paranormal detectives, kind of. It seems like they only fight one group of people, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I wasn't like very impressed at all with this. I might continue, I might not. But the one thing that really bothered me, and I Googled to see if other people were like bothered, but apparently not really. But one of the protagonists, or I guess he's like the secondary most important character. His name is Osama Dazai, obviously named after the famous author. Osama Dazai killed himself in real life, and there's a lot of speculation about that. I don't think it's confirmed, but a lot of people think that he just killed himself to be with his partner. But the Osama Dazai in this book is like, his thing is like he's trying to kill himself, but like unsuccessfully, and it's made out to be a joke. And I didn't like, I don't think I would have liked it in general, but the fact that it's like named after someone who did kill himself, really awkward reading for me. So I might not continue with the series, and I might end up unhauling it. I've kind of been debating that for several days now. Not even days, like a couple weeks since I finished reading it. This is a series I will definitely continue on, but like those two, I know I was like, I only read one volume, but this is Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1. I feel like I don't have to talk much about this because it is super popular. This is by, I'm going to probably mispronounce it, I'm so sorry, Geje Akatami. This series is like one of the big series right now. Basically, he eats a finger, which I didn't expect to happen. I don't know why. Oh my god, the eating of the finger killed me. He eats a finger and becomes partly cursed, or is cursed. The magic system's a little, I'm not quite there yet, but I think that's just because it's volume 1. He's the only person who can like eat the rest of these pieces of this very cursed demon thing, and then after he consumes them all, they're going to kill him, to kill the thing. I was really enjoying it. I was laughing a lot more than I thought I would. I'm already really drawn to these characters. I think they're all really fun. I'm still struggling with the names because it takes me a little bit to get the names, but it is the one with the blindfold. Gojo? Is that his name? I want to say it is Gojo. I was right. Yeah, I loved him. So I'll definitely be continuing on with the series. I just feel like I'm not in a rush because there's quite a few volumes of the series, and as much as I'm enjoying it, it's not like the best thing I've ever read. I did have a little bit of a problem with the translation in that I was having a hard time following certain trains of thoughts and conversations between characters, but I have a feeling that'll probably smooth over fairly quickly, and otherwise really enjoyed this one. Now these are all going to be single volumes of series I haven't even started yet, and I don't know when I'm going to start them. And I don't know a ton about them, so I'm not going to tell you a ton about them. I have the first Full Metal edition of Full Metal Alchemist by Hiromi Arakawa. This one is just a classic, and so many people I know who love manga have basically told me, read this one, read this series. I really stayed away from it for a long time because of all the hype, but I liked the Full Metal edition, and I was like, we will give it a try. We will see. I'm not going to buy any other volumes until I determine whether this is good or good for me. So yeah, I don't 100% know what this is about. It's a family drama. I think like the relationship between the two brothers is really important, but that's all I know. I think maybe they fight the 7 deadly sins, but I could be completely off on that. A series I know nothing about, Beyond the Clouds by Nikkei. Know nothing about this. I just 100% got it because it was pretty, and I like this aesthetic a lot. It's just gorgeous, and even the art inside I was really happy with and impressed. I thought it was pretty. I know nothing about it. It's probably not something I'm going to read soon, but I have it here to read. One that I keep telling myself I'm going to read soon and then it keeps getting pushed off is Drifting Dragons by Taku Kuwabara. I don't know what this is really about either, except that it gives like steampunk and dragon vibes. And if you don't know, I love steampunk and I absolutely love dragons, so it was enough to sell me on it. I think this series might be completed, but I could be totally wrong. This is one I will read this year, I promise, because it has been sitting at the top of my manga TBR for about a year. and that is Blue Period. This is by Tsubasa Yamaguchi. I think there's an anime on Netflix. I think it's about getting into art school, but I don't know. There's just something really charming about this. I definitely bought it for the hype. If you don't know, I work at a Barnes & Noble, and manga is obviously huge there. And this one just kept flying off the shelf, and I didn't know why. And I was like, oh, it looks good. The cover is really enticing. I'm going to buy it. So I did. I bought it. That's why I have Blue Period Volume 1. And I think the series is still ongoing. I don't know about most of these. If I haven't started it yet, I don't really look into whether it's ongoing or not. That's my toxic trait. This one is another one I'm going to get to this year. I'm going to get to it this year. I really want to. It might be an autumnal read, but it's happening. And that is Witch Hat Atelier by Kamome Shirahama. This is the only manga to win the Eisner Award, I believe, and it is gorgeous. Like, not only is the cover absolutely stunning, but the interior art is equally stunning. So yes, this will be happening this year. It's just too pretty not to, and it gives me very Ghibli vibes. So could be totally wrong, but that's the vibes it gives me. Then we have Blue Flag Volume 1. This is by Kaito. This series actually just completed recently, if I remember correctly, and it's basically a love square, I think. I got it because it sounded interesting, and it was back when I was just kind of dabbling a little bit and buying a volume here and there of manga. And I had heard like some good reviews. I was like, maybe I might like it. And then I kind of waxed on it. I was like, I don't know if I want to read this. I don't know if I'm interested in this. And then even in my most recent manga wrap up, I talked about how I might be unhauling this soon. But suddenly out of nowhere, I was like flooded with all these positive raving reviews of this series on TikTok. So it's sticking around. Don't know if I'll get to it this year, but so many people seem to love it, and it's complete. So I guess, what do I have to lose? I'll read a volume or two, and if I'm not loving it, I'll get rid of it. This one might get unhauled because I kind of forgot I had it, and that means it's not really a priority. This is Phantom Tales of the Night by Matsuri. I don't even 100% know what it's about. I don't remember why I bought it. I'll probably read it just for the sake of I have it, but I don't know. I do like the cover though. I love this aesthetic. Really cool. This is another one I bought because of the hype. I will probably read this one fairly soon just because it's long, and I want to figure out sooner than later whether I like it, and that is Komi Can't Communicate. This is by Tomohiro Oda. It's about, I think she's just like intensely shy and wants to make friends, and he's like helping her make friends. It's cute. I think they're really short chapters, which doesn't always vibe with me. So that's another reason I want to read it. If I unhaul it, I'd rather unhaul it soon so that I have room for more manga. Then we have the first volume of Goodnight Pun Pun by Inio Asano. This is definitely not the type of manga I normally gravitate towards, but I mentioned earlier I'm doing a Japanese literature reading kind of challenge over the course of a couple years, and a lot of research I did kind of pointed me in the direction of this being really important, of this being a rather important text in Japanese literature, even though it is a manga. So I really want to read it for a couple reasons. It does look interesting. It is very influential. It's very important apparently, and yeah, it's fun to kind of branch outside of your normal reading at a certain point, I think. I don't know if I'll get to that one soon though. And then we have two little omnibuses. We have Blue Giant Volume 1. This is by Shinichi Ishizuka. This is about, I think he wants to be like a jazz musician, and I just was super charmed by that. And I love the like blue scale cover design. It just gave me all the vibes. So this is volumes 1 and 2. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get to that one. And similarly, I don't know when I was gonna get to this one. I thought it would be a summer read. I don't think it's happening. This is the first volume of Mermaid Saga, which I believe is an omnibus of a couple different volumes, but I don't know how many. This is a horror series, I'm fairly certain, and it's about flesh-eating mermaids. And that's all I know, and that's all I really need to know. I actually partly loved the cover, but I don't think I've read like a proper like horror manga, so I wanted to do this. Also, it's more of an older title, and I don't have too many older titles in my collection. All right, now getting into series that I actually have a couple volumes of. Did you see that one? This is Sakamoto Days. I have volumes 1 and volume 2. This is by Yuto Suzuki. These are really cute. I haven't read volume 2 yet. I read and really enjoyed volume 1. It is about a store clerk, or actually he owns the store, who was once a hitman. This is definitely up your alley if you like Way of the House Husband. I would definitely recommend Sakamoto Days. It's cute. I love the art. It is so charming and it gives me like classic manga vibes, which I loved. My only problem with this really is the fact that there are kind of fat jokes, and we're still doing that, but anyway, I do enjoy Sakamoto Days. I recommend it. I think I know there are only the 2 volumes out in English right now. Then I have a series that I've read the first 2 volumes of, and I haven't picked up volume 3 because I didn't love the first 2 volumes, and that is Girl from the Other Side. This is by Nagabi, so this is volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. These do have some of the prettiest covers, but the story just was not grabbing or engrossing me. It didn't have any of the draw that I was really hoping it would have, and I've heard such mixed things about the ending of the series that I don't know if I'm going to continue past volume 3. This is really going to be the defining volume for me. If I like it and I'm like, okay, time to continue, I will, but if I don't love it, I think I'll just put these to the side, unhaul them, and move on with my life. This is about a world where there are monsters, and if you're touched by a monster, you become corrupted and become one. But this girl is on the other side. Her name is Shiva, I believe, and she's been living on the monster side of the world and hasn't been corrupted. She did touch a monster at the end of volume 1, but Teacher, who is the monster she lives with, is very adamant about not touching her and about taking care of her and trying to get her safely home. You know, it's interesting, but it's just not gripping, is my main complaint. Here's a series I'm caught up on and absolutely love. I love, love, love this series. And it's a little stuck. Okay. And that is Spy Family. So we have volume 1, volume 2. I love these covers too, with them all sitting. And Frankie is on the cover. That'll be coming out soon. Volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, with my least favorite character in the series. That's volume 7. Volume 7 right there, and volume 6 is right here. I actually started reading this and I had to wait a while to get like the middle volumes. I think I only had volume 1, 5, 6, and 7 for a while, but it was worth the wait. These are really, really good. Spy Family, you've probably heard this is another really popular one. It is a found family story. It is set in a sort of post-World War II Berlin-esque world, and we have basically, I'll show you the back actually. So we have a spy, we have an assassin, and we have a telepath. He is on a mission. He needs to infiltrate a school, and the best way to do that is with a child and with a family. So he adopts Anya, who is a telepath. He doesn't know she's a telepath. She knows he's a spy, but she's not supposed to know he's a spy. And he marries I'm sorry. I always want to call her like literally any name but her own. He marries Yor, who is an assassin. He doesn't know she's an assassin. She doesn't know he's a spy. Neither of them know Anya is a telepath, and hijinks ensue. The storyline is actually really solid and really cute. Anya is the star of the show, but they're all just really solid characters. I love this series. I recommend it strongly. I mentioned it already, but here it is. Here is Way of the House Husband. We've got volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, and volume 6. These are by Kosuke Uno. These are my lifeline. I absolutely love this series. It brings me so much joy and happiness. It is about an ex-Yakuza member who married, settled down, and became a house husband. If I were to start you on the manga reading path, I would say start with this series. It's just so cute. It is so amazing. I absolutely love it and live for it. And I will be picking up volume 7 soon. Then we have Wotakai, Love is Hard for Otaku. This is written by Fujita, actually. Not Fajita. So this is volume 1, which is actually a bind-up of the first 2 Japanese volumes. I've read this one. And then we have volume 2, which I have not read, and volume 6, the Barnes & Noble edition, because I just wanted to make sure I grabbed the collector's edition. Like I said, I've only read volume 1. I wasn't super duper taken by it, but it was fun. It was kind of mindless. I don't love our main protagonist relationship, but I do enjoy kind of the side characters' relationships, and I love the art. The art is just so good. I am absolutely living for the art. Anyway, Budokai. Not my favorite, but it's cute. I see why a lot of people like it. Here's a series I've been putting off finishing because I don't want it to be over. And that's just the truth. Sweat and Soap by Kinetetsu Yamada. I have read the first 9 volumes. Okay, sorry. Hopefully I didn't mess up the camera too much. All right. I was going to show you Sweat and Soap. So we have volume 1, volume 2, and these, the first 2, have such unfortunate covers. I'm not a fan of those covers. Volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, which might be my favorite cover, volume 6, volume 7, volume 8, volume 9, and then volume 10, which I have not read yet, and volume 11, which, yes, they got married. Ah, so cute. This is my favorite romance manga, I think, because it is 2 characters who, they're in their mid-20s. This is like their serious relationship, and we watch them from the beginning to obviously the end, and it's just really beautiful how the story can still balance sort of angsty moments and not like have it all just be the trope of miscommunication. It is really just a wholesome series. It gets my heart. I love that they deal with very regular things like shopping for a house or shopping for groceries, and it's big moments, and it's so good. It's so solid. I'm sad that it has to end. I'll read these 2 volumes soon, I promise. I don't want it to be quite over yet. If you watch my manga wrap-ups, you know that this series started poorly for me, and I did not like volume 1, and I was like, I'll give it another volume and we'll see. Probably not going to continue with this one. And then the next time I talked to you about it, I was like, this series is fucking amazing. One of my favorites. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I love this series so much. This is Frieren Beyond Journeys, and this is written by Kanehito Yamada, and the art is by Tsukasa Abe. It's so good. This is volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, and volume 5, which I haven't had the chance to read yet. This will be the next one I read. This series is just so good. Volume 1 is hard because it's mostly Frieren alone, and Frieren as a character is, while interesting, definitely much better when she's working against a party of other characters. This is very much set in a D&D-esque world. Frieren is an elf. She has outlived pretty much every member of her original party, and she realizes she just did not form, or she didn't appreciate what she had with them and with that group, and so she decides to spend time with humans and try to figure out what her and her first party destroyed the evil demon lord guy, but there are still some remnants of his power, so her and her new party are going to take care of that. And it's just a really wholesome, really good series, and yeah, once we get Fern, the series just takes off. It becomes really great because then we also keep adding other characters. And yeah, I'm just always like super excited to be reading these. They're so good. When I saw volume 5 had arrived at work, I was like, oh my god, give it to me. You're not seeing the struggle, but I hurt my hand, so it actually kind of like hurts to grab things right now. Oh my god, the pain I put myself in for y'all. Okay. Then we have one of my, actually I would say like Frieren is in like top 3 favorites. Yes, I would say. Whoa, the camera's falling. Frieren is definitely in the top 3 favorites. Definitely top 5, if not top 3. But in my top 2, we have 2 series, and one of those series is Hanako-kun. This series is written by Idalro. I try. This is volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, volume 8, volume 9, volume 10, Volume 11, Volume 12, and Volume 13, which I am caught up on reading all of these. I also totally forgot I do have an art book, but I can't grab it. It's kind of out of reach at the moment. And besides the art book, I have, this is After School Hanako-kun, which is just like little extra stories, and Hanako-kun, or Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Volume 0, which is the original version, and some just other bonus material as well. I love this series. It is the series that got me back into reading manga. It is so funny that this is that series because I would like make fun of this stupid title of the series. It's a horrible name. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Awful name. I remember staring at it at work being like, that is the stupidest looking manga. La 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 la. Yeah, no, I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Basically, Ishiro makes a deal with Hanako-kun when she makes a wish, and she's like, I want my crush to fall in love with me, and he's like, I can't do that. But then that wish tumbles into her accidentally being cursed to be a fish every time she gets wet. It's very funny. And to kind of help her with that, he's like, okay, well, I'll make a deal with you, and you help me out. And it just kind of spirals from there. There's so much more going on than that, but he basically needs her help in dealing with the school mysteries, of which there are 7. He is honorable number 7, but there are 6 other school mysteries that need dealing with for mysterious reasons. And they cause trouble. There's a lot of ghosts. There have been some great stories. There isn't a huge cast of side characters like something like My Hero Academia, but there is a fairly large amount of side characters that we're kind of following along and trying to keep track of as the series is going, and I actually really enjoy every single one of those plot lines, and I have a lot of theories, and I hope that some of my theories come true because I'm invested. The next series I'm going to show you is my favorite series, but there's one other series after that. It's just like shelved below it in the pile. So this is a little anticlimactic. But my favorite series of all time, the series that originally got me into manga, and the series that I was reading even after I wasn't reading other manga series, is Noragami. This series is written by Adachitoka. So sorry, I am trying my hardest. I am actually in the process of rereading all the volumes that I had already read to make sure I catch up, because there are a few volumes that I didn't read because I did let myself lapse, but I was still buying them. So we have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, which you saw I was rereading currently, and it is just bringing back so much. I love this series. I will forever love this series. Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, Volume 9, Volume 10, Volume 11, Volume 12, Volume 13, Volume 14, Volume 15, Volume 16, which might be my favorite cover, and Volume 17. That is as far as I have read, but I did also read, this is the Stray Stories collection, but I have more volumes, I just haven't read these. So Volume 18, Volume 19, Volume 20, Volume 21, Volume 22, Volume 23, and newly released Volume 24. Yeah, I love this series. It is so good and so important to me. It's just fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. Don't get me on that soapbox. Basically about a girl, Hiyori, who sees someone crossing the street about to be hit by a bus, tries to save them, is hit by the bus herself. The person she ended up saving is Yato, who is a god. He is a homeless god with very high and lofty dreams, which he's just probably never going to make. And she is not killed. She's just kind of thrown out of her body so that she's half Ayakashi, she's half ghost, half spirit, and she reaches out to Yato and is like, help me fix this problem. And he's like, okay, but is so slow at helping her fix the problem. And she just kind of gets embroiled in his world and what is going on. There's quite a few politics. He's got a very dark past that she has to figure out. There's also a third character, Yukine, who is Yato's Shinki, which is his like magical weapon, and was a spirit who died pure. And Yukine has a lot of trouble dealing, not necessarily with the fact that he's dead, but with everything that comes with being Yato, in particular Shinki, as well as just dealing with other ghostly problems and angst because he is a middle school boy. This series is just, it's good. I've said that so many times. Moving on to the final 4 volumes of manga I own. which is another series I was really into when I was reading manga the first time, but it was so long even at that point that I just wasn't into it, because I like Noragami is the series I have the most volumes of. I started reading it when volume 2 came out, so I've been reading it pretty consistently since then, whereas this other series, as much as I enjoy it, it was just so long I had to just not. And I do plan on rereading it and hopefully catching up. I think some of the volumes are really hard to get now, which is kind of a shame. But that is Blue Exorcist, and this is written by Kazu Koto. I probably think I said that completely wrong. Kazue Kato. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. And that's all I own and all I actually read. I was really obsessed with the anime for a very long time, though. Absolutely loved it. The series is about Rin and Yukio. Rin is the son of Satan, and so it's like half a demon, and their father ends up killed, so Rin goes to join the exorcism school where Yukio also attends and learn how to be an exorcist to kill Satan, and that is the plot, and I think that's kind of neat. And it's really the relationship between Yukio and Ren that just drags the reader through this, like, other stuff is cool, other stuff is really great, but you're really following along for that relationship because it's just a great relationship to watch on the page, and even the anime was fantastic in that regard. So that is it. That is my manga collection. How many volumes is that? 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 96! 96 volume of manga. Shy of 100. Gonna have to go rectify that and buy some more. If this is your first time watching this channel and you like this content and you want to see more like it, please consider subscribing. I would seriously consider it. I don't do a huge amount of manga content, but it is something that I really would like to do more of. The more I read, the more I feel like I don't have authority to talk about it, but can talk about it with more authority than me being like, this was good. If you are a subscriber and you have watched, thank you, thank you, thank you. It means the world to me. Thank you so very much. If you are somewhere cold, I hope you're staying warm. If you're somewhere warm, I hope you're staying comfortable. And most of all, I hope you're reading a great book. I will see you guys next time. Bye!